Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new thing on the channel. This is Dead Age 2. It's out this week. Came out on the 16th of July in early access. So it's not a full feature complete game. It is early access, a development build, so anything could change, things could get better. Just want to make that very clear before we want to critique anything, that this is not a finished product. So I played a little bit of Dead Age 1 on my phone in the previous years. Never actually beat it, I don't think, but just dabbled in it a little bit. Sorry if the music's a little loud, but so Dead Age 2 news. How will you choose to survive when faced with an ocean of undead and potentially hostile survivor factions? In Dead Age 2, death may claim you easily, but there is no shame in that. In a new run, you will improve with additional upgrades and develop new survival strategies. This is early access version. If you found a bug, you can help them out. They've been working on this for 3 years. But, wait, I've already lowered the music a little bit, but, I mean a lot bit. Lower it a little bit more. This feels very loud in my ear and in the, OBS levels. So go ahead and get started here in slot 1, I suppose. Choose the character creation. Choose your character's past. Why did you have to be that loud? So character Jack's Camp, you have 3 medals available for upgrades. Jack's Camp, you start with simple clothes and no bonus. Unlock the highest upgrades to be able to choose a faction bonus. You know what? We'll just beat Jason. Sure, whatever. Jason the American. So we can choose as Jack's Camp. We can choose Independence. Must be activated in the upgrades menu. U.S. Army must be activated in the upgrades menu. Or Smuggler. Upgrades menu. So, I guess we start with Jack's Camp. And we are, in fact, Jason. Yeah, okay, we'll be Jason, sure. There's upgrades menu for Jason. We can put 3 medals in. Melee combat, we can upgrade range combat, medical, and technical. Technical looks like it gives us get a bonus to power. Up the line, camp receives additional scrap. Camp receives additional scrap. Up to including camp standing with all factions grouped by 10. Medical. More med kits, more ammo, block chance. Let's go, I'm going to put a point in technical so we get a little extra bonus to power. Let's give myself a point in medical, and let's get a melee build going on. You want to confirm? I want to accept, please. So, you see there's runs, so it's kind of roguelike elements. So it kind of keeps your list of like what's your best run, and as you see, something about having to upgrade to unlock these other factions. But normal difficulty, sure. Jason, talent selections, blunt weapons, bladed weapons, blunt weapons. Bladed weapons struggle against less armor, less damage than ranged, weaker versus armored. Blunts. Let's go for bladed weapons. Our talent can be hunting. Engineer, hunting. Let's go. Engineer gets thrown weapons, ignore armor, and deploy turrets. Hunter can summon animals and traps. Go for engineer. Pistols, shotgun, rifle. Pistols. Uses the most commonly found. You know what? Let's go with pistol just because it's easy to find the ammo. And alertness, biology, handiwork, survival. Let's give it. Sorry, this is taking quite a little while to get started, but alertness raises the gardener's job rank. additional success in lockpicks, biology, doctor, crafting, chance in medicine, new crafting if you choose handiwork, increases the hunter's job rank if you go for survival, increases the smith, increases the chance of success during survival events. Let's go for alertness. I like the idea of being able to defending against attacks and also extra chance of success in lockpicks. Get us some useful stuff. So, start the game? Sure. You may unlock armor for the main character in the upgrades menu if you've earned enough standing with a faction before your death. So definitely going the roguelite idea. 10 years ago, the zombification began. The outbreak resulted in pure chaos and billions of deaths. It was the the largest catastrophe ever experienced by humanity. A small group of survivors eventually discovered a cure, and with it came a small measure of relief for the decimated world population. So this is probably telling you a little bit of the backstory about the first game, Dead Age 1. But I never finished that, so I don't know. Several factions emerged in the former United States. None of them trusted one another. The largest territory was claimed by the former U.S. Army, as they were the best equipped. Smugglers established bases deep in the forest and the mountains. The few humane independents attempt to build places of refuge for unaffiliated civilians, but they failed. Yep, they broke your ranks. They're coming to eat your face now. Watch out, he's gonna eat your face, and you're dead. Oh, he ate your guts. Congratulations. The undead returned just after a few short years. The horde swept through the world like a plague renewed, washing over the farmlands and refugee camp, leaving only ash and rubble in their wake. So what happened? Why did the undead return? I guess that's probably what we're trying to solve here. Starting in the country road. Alright, looks like maybe your right arm's a little busted there, dude. You are Jason, feeling heavy under intense heat. You cross a country road. You had received a radio message from Jack. He intends to establish a new safe camp for survivors of the recent attacks. Interesting visuals here. We got some people chewing on some corpses in the background. And we have this crawler-looking zombie to deal with. This once I'd like to get anywhere without running into those damned monsters. Not today, I guess. The crippled crawler isn't very quick. Nevertheless, Jason begins to frantically pull at the pockets of his backpack. He doesn't have a backpack. Okay, go to the inventory. We're in the tutorial. Weapons and clothing may have up to 3 modifications depending on quality. Symbols beneath the weapon represent those modifications. To get more information, hover your cursor over the attributes on the left side of the character. Equip the weapons, then return to combat. So there's bunch of different attributes that I'm not going to go into right now because that's probably a little ridiculous. So, kitchen knife, weapon, or block. So, kitchen knife, block. Alright. Sleeve. Leave. Equipping an item during combat uses an action point. Thankfully, your survivors are quick and have 2 action points. You're able to perform another action. Choose ranged combat. Each weapon type endows its own abilities. Once equipped, your perception increases range damage. Attribute values are displayed directly below your character. So there's your health, there's your whatever. Character, more information about a skill is displayed at the bottom right. The icons tell you the cost and AP and ammunition required. So use the pistol. It weakens the target temporarily, uses the most commonly found ammo, and it's the weakest range weapon. Yep, I gotcha. A normal ranged attack with 100% damage. Successful hit grants the attacker 1 adrenaline point. Don't really know what this deal up here is. Is that where the character has to be? Like, I don't understand this. Maybe you'll tell me about that. Okay, yeah, attacker crawler. First blood. Defeated enemies may leave loot behind. You find some crafting material and some torn hand wraps. Some bloody hand wraps. Here you can see information about lootable items by moving the cursor over them and place them in your items, or your inventory individually. So yeah, hand badges, even though they called them hand wraps earlier, gives you defense and resistance. Shell casings. I'm assuming that resistance gives you some kind of resistance to being bitten, maybe, or getting the disease. Should no individual items be selected, all items in your loot will be looted at once. They can be managed or equipped in your inventory. So take all and view inventory. Sure, yeah, okay. Oh, right click to do that. Clothing reduces damage inflicted upon you by physical attacks. So now you're trying to tell me about that hand badge. With that. I said hand badge, it's hand bandage. Alright, moving on. Your arm was clipping right through your body, dude. That's definitely a bug. A few more undead shuffle about. The weapon is already equipped, giving you enough time to shoot before slow-moving zombies reach you. Stats directly below your character have been updated to accurately reflect the defense increased by your equipped hand wraps. Alright, pistol. Attack them. Select the zombie to see the chance to hit, and getting a crit. So, where 75% chance to hit, 22% crit? Is that what that's telling me? I can only can't attack him, so the crawler it is, I guess. Grazing shot only results in half the normal damage, causes no status change effects, and does not increase adrenaline. You may increase your chance to hit by using skills or advancing closer. Damn it, I'm out of ammo. Let's hope this dagger will do the trick. Your opponents are too far away from melee. You could rush forward, but that would exhaust your AP. Use focus and wait for them to come closer. This will reward you with an additional action point. So we just wait. Thanks to focus, you now have 3 AP. You could attack 3 times. Later, multiple AP can be used to activate more powerful skills. First, you must move closer. Only characters in the front row can use melee attacks. Moving forward costs 1 AP. So I think that's what that bar with the different 4 heads were trying to tell me before. Every simple ranged and melee attack raises a character's adrenaline. You can now execute 2 simple attacks, but your current adrenaline levels allow you to unleash a stronger adrenaline skill, resulting in greater damage output. Remember, in the future, to raise adrenaline using simple ranged and melee attacks. So yeah, I think this is what this tells me is that, I have one guy up front. I have a guy up front, and the enemy has people up front. So we have Blade Thrust. Blade Thrust does what now? I can't know. I don't know. I clicked too fast. I don't know what Blade Thrust does. But it killed the crawler. Ouch, that hurt. Critical hits increase outgoing damage by 50%. Alright. So here's what we should have known. Blade Thrust deals 120% damage with 90% accuracy. Successful hit causes vulnerable. May propel the target from the front to the back row, causing an additional 50% knockback damage if they collide with an ally. So I'd read a little bit about this game, and they said it had some elements from Darkest Dungeon, and that's definitely some Darkest Dungeon-y kind of thing, with the different positioning and being able to knock people back and stuff. So let's attack the bitten farmer. Looks like he has a couple things there. Infect, cannibalism. But let's just go ahead and attack him. And since we have a few attacks, a few action points. That hurt quite badly. Your energy is below 30%, making you vulnerable. Be wary. Zombies may infect you using special skills, which will also reduce your strength. Defense reduces chance of infection. You have 2 AP left, enough for 2 simple attacks. It's a close one because your vulnerability reduces your damage output. Okay, so when we're low on health, we hit less hard, which could make it hard to come back if you're on the back foot there. And we just grazed him. Look out, melee attacks may be blocked, resulting in half of the damage output. The block and critical hit chance of your opponent is displayed in the upper right. The zombie survives your attacks and could now infect you. Choose your defensive ability, guard against the infections, Always remember to protect yourself. Once in place, an infection is difficult to get rid of. So, set us up a defensive stance. Grants defense equal to strength. And physical damage is absorbed by this round. Alright. You can't infect me. I hope you can infect me. You can perform 2 attacks again. Can you kill it? Directly below you is a display of the damage you will do. The numbers are red and currently lowered because you are vulnerable. Your opponent's armor value will be calculated against your damage to yield its final value. So we can hit for 63, I think is what that's saying. And the enemy... I'm going to get a little bit more information about him. He has 61 health. He has 20 defense, though, so it's going to... Okay, we're doing 41 damage times 2. I don't know, it's 2. Okay, 41 damage times 2, but he had a little bit of defense, so we hit for 21 times 2 instead, I guess. That's what happened? You'll be able to defeat your opponent, as the final damage value after armor will fall below 0. In close call situations, keep an eye on the numbers below your character to better avoid fatal mistakes. Alright, we're gonna win. First we're gonna win is the tutorial. Achievement unlocked, a zombie fighter. You barely survived, but you are alive, and with a long way ahead of you. Suddenly, a moaning heralds more zombies. The sound grows louder as an enormous horde comes shuffling onto the road. Well, yeah, they probably heard me shooting my gun. Your heart in your throat, you crouch low into the bushes. A horde is a vast cluster of zombies. They appear to be moving towards the position of Jack's camp. You have just a few days to prepare the location for defense. You struggle not to lose all hope at the sight of the sea of shuffling death. The world of Dead Age has become even more unforgiving. You have to warn Jack, and fast. Meanwhile, it seems just a short while ago that you and your best friend, Stephen, withstood the rise of the apocalypse. You had barricaded yourself into a home and endured the screams of the dwindling population and moans of the infected, all the while scavenging for food and materials. Years of experience has taught you to plan ahead. You've also met other veterans of the apocalypse and found that there is safety in numbers. Jack, is that you? Says Stephen. Stephen, is everything okay? You look terrible. What took you? I'm starting to worry the next time I saw you, I'd have to fend you off with a bat. Believe me, I don't want to have to be the one to put you down. Stephen appears relieved. Jack, you guys want to talk while there's, like, feeding zombies right here? Jack was known as a hero of the New World. After all, it was he who found a way to put the virus in check, at least for a time. He had been a big help to you and Stephen in the following years, coming together in a camp of independence. Stephen was always welcome with the independents. They made him feel at home. That's just some weird phrasing there. The mutation of my old infection is progressing very slowly, so Jack was infected. Gotcha. I'm doing well given the circumstances. There are a lot of crows in the sky. We should go. Are you coming from the Independents? The Independent faction, I'm assuming? Sure thing, I just got back from Freedom City East. This must be Freedom City East. You remember it, right? You had some kind of disagreement with the Independents there? Look, I was sorry to hear about that your infection is incurable. Or to hear you've still got some years left in you. Say, have you seen Jason? He made it out in time, but I have no idea where he is right now. Come on, the way to camp is dangerous. Stay focused. 30 minutes pass as you pick your way carefully along the winding dirt paths. The display in the upper left, there is no display in the upper left, but sure, it shows you how much time remains. Once it expires, your group will be automatically returned to base. Okay, so I'm assuming time does not... This is turn-based, I'm assuming, because the thing's not running. So we're here. Now this is Jack's camp. We're here. We need to go to Jack's camp? I'm guessing that's true. It wants me to go to Jack's camp. Excuse me, this is I can loot water on the country road. This is Jack's camp. Okay, let's travel. Maybe we'll meet Jason here. Icons on the map let you see that what you're most likely to find in this area. In this case, that thing is water. Okay, I'll take all, please. That's a lot of guys. That's inconvenient. Here's a med kit. While I'm fighting up front, you are safe from close range attacks. Steven, stay back and heal yourself. By default, survivors go first. The survivor front center makes the first move. Front row survivors can protect allies standing behind them in the ranged attack row. In this way, Jack will be the sole target of all incoming melee attacks, giving Steven time to tend to his injuries. Alright, Steven is at half health. Treating wounds quickly is crucial in Dead Age 2. You'll have to do so often. Select the healing item now. Okay, we got one first aid kit. Held him up to full health. Now we can use his rifle, which has a high damage output, capable of multiple simultaneous targets, requires large amounts of ammo, and it's weak versus armored targets. So for this attack to work, I think this is what it's telling me. For this attack to work, I have to be on the back row of the survivor side, and I'm attacking the front row of the zombie side. Okay, I can only attack one crawler. It wants me to attack this one right here. Sorry, that's extremely loud. Go ahead and lower that a little bit. My apologies. I didn't realize it was peaking out so loud there. I may probably need to go back and fix that before I upload this video. This enemy has some mean tricks up its sleeve. Whenever it or any of its undead companions attack, its damage increases. I didn't see which one that was. Who was that? Still a little loud, honestly. Alright. How many shots are you gonna get with this rifle? Okay, you didn't kill him. Group strength. Okay, now they move forward. When you select an opponent, its current status information are displayed beside it. You can view additional information about its skills on the bottom right. So, yeah, so it's showing me the health. This one has 74 health. This one has full health 135. They can do brutal attack. They can cripple. Attack the only one it will let me attack. Ammo depleted. Alright, Steven levels up. I feel stronger. We get some ammo, we get some materials, we get some bandages, we get some cloth fabric. Take all, please. You received a level up. With a little luck, you may sometimes raise 4 attributes. If you have the status effect motivated, that upgrade is guaranteed. This, however, will only happen in special circumstances caused by special story or romantic events. How's Trish doing? Speaking of romantic events, I guess. Does she still manage that bar? I could go for a cold drink right about now. It so happens that she is expecting us. Our new camp is a large old house that we've retrofitted or outfitted with some new furniture. Trish has been a big help. There's still a few munchers and I'm out of ammunition, Jack. Well then hit him with something. I'll cover you. Alright, let's switch road to the front. We have different close range weapons. This is a teachable moment. Which of us do you think will be more effective against zombies in thin clothing? Probably a bladed weapon. I have no idea, man. I mean, I don't think a bladed weapon is very armory, or excuse me, a thin clothing is very armory, but sure. Yeah. You did more damage than I did. That's because your target is armored. Bladed weapons are great against light protection. My double strike is more effective there. Against thicker armor, one single focus attack is more likely to do the trick. But I didn't do more damage. You did more damage because you hit twice. Whatever, game. Let's just get through the tutorial or move on a little bit more. Let's take care of this next one. You can see it's carrying something heavy. Can I? Ah. It absorbed the attack. I'm not doing enough damage to this one. These are armored undead soldiers. You may have noticed that close range attacks are pretty much useless against that kind of protection. This is why it's important to have a group with diverse skills. You can't expect to live long if you can't adapt. If you leveled up and are able to learn new skills, go to your inventory and switch to the skills tab. The survivor must learn varying kinds of skills to make it out there. For starters, learn the Molotov cocktail skill. Here. Here. Confirm. Before you can select the skill, you need to be in the ranged attack row. Ranged attacks require a certain distance, so switch rows to the back. Let Jack get completely destroyed. He has a freaking like cutlass over here or something. You'll notice a symbol for armor attached to the undead soldier's health bar when you target it. Use your Molotov cocktail. It will do fire damage over time and destroy that armor. Yes, I guess that's 4 armor. The skills description displays the distance needed dynamically. In this case, you can see in the bottom left that you need more distance to use the skill. Do I need more distance? Oh, you're saying that I need more distance. Like, I needed more distance, like, before. I don't necessarily need more distance now. Nice job, its armor is toast. We can attack it at close range. Alright, you killed it, good job. We got some shell casings. Now we can make it to Jack's camp. And you're gonna introduce me to base building. I think. We finally made it. Indeed we did. Good to see you again, Steven. Your best friend Jason should be here soon. We'll deal with the smugglers then. Go ahead and make yourself useful. Until then, meet me at the bar when you're ready. You should also know how to use the radio. And we know we need to manage camp defense as well. We want our meeting with the smugglers to be secure. When in base, you can navigate between rooms. Let's start by choosing the bar. Okay, we've got a couple quests. That's the cantina that we're choosing. Hang on, you're negotiating with the smugglers? Don't tell me this camp joined a faction. No, we're working alone. The independents are alright, but their leaders can't agree on anything. The U.S. Army is very authoritative, so we tend to avoid them. That leaves the smugglers. Currently, our reputation with all 3 factions is neutral, but we'd like to change that and improve our standings with one of them. That will encourage them to sell us better armor, and we might be able to deal with their leaders directly. We have 3 quests available. Let's start with crafting for beginners. Since you've run out of assault rifle ammo, let me suggest that you craft some more. In order to craft anything, you need to first learn how. To learn the trade blacksmithing, first choose skills. Here you'll find more skill categories next to combat skills. You may also learn trade skills or jobs, which are very important for your survival. So this is melee skills. This is range skills. These are job skills. Survival unlocks hunter and smith jobs. A smith can produce quality 1 ammunition. Hunter rank 1 is available. All right. So we learned how to craft ammo. First, I don't want to be an inconvenience, but I really have no idea what all I can do here. Let's go over to the forge. Any base worth its salt has one, but in order to make better munitions, we'll have to upgrade it at some point. For now, let's just make some standard assault rifle ammunition. I have some materials you can use. Okay, thank you. Please show me the way to the forge. The forge is a table with an anvil on it. Crafting an item requires raw materials and scrap, as well as additional components depending on the crafting recipe. In this case, for shell casings, which I just gave you, all of these objects can be found in the surrounding area. Gather them when you can. We'd hate for the camp to run out. You'll need a lot of materials to make the ammo you need. Upgrading this room later will enable you to craft higher quality ammunition, and starting at rank 3, you can ask an additional survivor to help you craft more and faster. I'll see you again later tonight. So if I upgrade it to rank 3, I can set kind of NPCs to work the forge. I think, maybe. Alright, let's build some rifle ammo. It past time. Now it is night. Good, you made some ammo. Always remember to make enough. Ranged weapons are usually much more effective than melee. We're not going out there in the evening, right? The shufflers outnumber us 4-1 when it gets dark. You said they were shufflers, you said they were something else. Like, don't you have a name for these things? It really is dangerous after dark unless you have something more pressing to do. Your time is better spent doing jobs around camp. I think it's time to learn more about gathering resources. Let's head to the comm room. When your resources run dry, comms is your only hope. Okay, there's the comm station. In comms, you can make radio contact with scouts, but only in areas you already know. It isn't possible to revisit locations you've been to before unless you do it through comms. Using scouts costs a few bucks, but it's worth it. Can't revisit locations you've already been to unless you do it through comms. Don't know exactly what that means, but we'll figure it out. So, pick something you want to particularly look for. In our case, we need more water. 3 locations will become available, most of which contain water, while another scout or another spot will contain a random location discovered by your scouts. We said we wanted water. Since there's nothing left to do, let's rest until tomorrow. Good night. Steven, since all we did last night was jobs around camp, we are lower on resources. Jack and I can take care of ourselves, but every active member camp will consume 1 unit of food per day. Always keep an eye on those. You don't want to run out. Hey Steven, good work on the radio. The scouts discovered an interesting new spot in the area we passed through. There's water there. In this case, you can keep a close eye on the camp's needs. Okay, I get that the radio is important to discover new resources in old locations. A scout has also found an old junkyard. That's probably a good place for scraps and materials. Exactly right. You can seek out these new locations in the coming days, but now it's time to worry about our food situation. We're starting to run low. Find new resource spots. We need to explore new locations. Our first stop is a place a bit more dangerous than the dirt roads outside of Jack's camp. A place east of here called Forest Grave. Okay, sorry this tutorial is going forever. Alright, we gotta level up. I feel stronger. Is this Forest Grave? By the way, it's important to keep an eye on how much water is being used. Water is rationed for the first 4 hours. Every member of the party drinks 1 unit, so the 2 of us have gone through 2 liters. Always account for how much water scavenging parties will use up. So every move we make will use a unit of water for each person. Is that what you're saying? Without water, people will start to dehydrate and lose health every half day. Believe me, that is something you want to avoid. We have 8 units of water. It's well, not 7:30. We have 7 hours and 30 minutes left. So you want me to move here? Counter. You could be attacked traveling between resource spots. The number of attackers depends on the threat level of the area. The threat level here is currently ranked as low, so you shouldn't run into too much trouble. Forest Grave, however, is a deal more dangerous. Why is there a floating skull? What's this all about? Those bony rangers are as fast as living humans. As you may have seen, they are harder to hit from afar and resistant to Molotov cocktails. We should focus on hitting them from up close. Oh, and take special care with this one. He looks like he's got a few fights behind him already. So he's like a veteran. The particles mark the Rager as an elite unit. It is more dangerous than a normal Rager and would also yield greater rewards if defeated. Alright, moving in closer. Wish me luck. He's charging up. That guy is puking on us. Look out, the Rager is charging up for some large attack. You only have a moment to react. You should take a defensive stance. Alright, let's see if we can absorb some hits. So defensive stance doesn't end your turn. It just buffs you. Okay. Gives you defense equal to strength. There you go. You see, the damage the Rager did was partially deflected. Defending against charge attacks is a solid tactic, unless you absolutely need to kill your opponent quickly. The beast behind the Rager is preparing to launch a psychic attack. Fire, blood, poison, and psych causes power damage. The hunter skill's combat readiness can be raised to protect against power attacks. Unfortunately, you don't have that particular skill. Your only option is to take out that Rager. The Rager is unsteady on its feet after that attack. Time for some payback. Alright. You're dead, Rager. Can we just get done with this tutorial? Ouch. Dear God, what a deafeningly horrible noise. I can't stand it. Okay, so you did a psychic attack and you pushed me back. When affected by fear, you will have no choice but to retreat to the back, if there's room. You'll have to endure the fear and hold on for one round. You need a moment to pause and recover? No problem. Use the opportunity and take out that other Rager. Alright, you can dispatch the Screamer with your assault rifle. She's easier to hit than the Rager. Okay, switch to rifle. Attack the Siren. I know I said we shouldn't judge an early access game, but sometimes the animations are kind of silly. The shufflers here are tough. Wow, we found some armor-piercing bullets. I'm taking these. Yeah, let's take them. Armor-piercing rifle ammo, scrap, and material. Take everything. Every type of area, like city, woods, and mountains, deserts, or plains, has its own resources. We'll very likely find something to eat here in the woods. We're going to find a sausage in the woods. The hunting grounds. I've healed you completely. Good thing, too. Since these wilds aren't actually safe, they've always been wild animals, but in recent years they've gone positively feral. In fact, you find an opportunity to restock your rations almost immediately. Every survivor requires 1 unit of food per day and night, sometimes more if jobs are being performed. Come upon a part of the forest overgrown with berry bushes. Time to load up. Look out, Steven. Picking berries may seem like a small feat, but there's always a chance of being discovered. Let's gather those berries. Jack moves over to the bushes and starts to pluck berries from them. And I'm sure we're going to be discovered, right? Yep, ambush. A pack of wolves has heard the rustling in the bushes. If you're unlucky, you may even be ambushed, and the enemy gets to attack first, since wolves possess the skill Nimble. Yep, so they attack first. And this dude is just so busy picking his berries, he doesn't even turn around to look that we're being attacked by wolves. Steven, I need a little time to grab these berries. Hold them off, and I'll join you as soon as you can. As soon as I can. Can't you just stop and deal with the berries in a little bit, please? How the hell am I supposed to hold off a pack of wolves? That should be off. By myself. Assault rifles and shotguns have attacks that damage a wide area, but more on that later. Take out the Alpha first. The Alpha Wolf has a tough hide, rendering your assault rifle less than effective against it. Be sure to load your armor-piercing ammo. These bullets break down the defensive layer by using power damage in the same way Molotov cocktails do. Wolves have little resistance to this kind of attack. Let's take the armor piston ammo. Attack the alpha wolf. The hell was that? This alpha appears to be much smarter than the others. I mean, you're just getting destroyed, dude. All over some berries. The alpha has made the whole pack stronger. That makes it even more dangerous, and I'm not done with these bushes. Remember in the future to decide carefully who you send scavenging in the wild. This is your idea, smartass. Let's go. Alright, Alpha Wolf's dead. You should defend now that they are attacking more forcefully. Okay. Absorbed. 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 Holy crap, that was a close one. Okay, time for an area attack with your assault rifle. The downside is that it does reduce damage to individual targets, especially if armored. It should be great against these pups, though. A burning salvo, huh? I can't go back to see what it does. It does a little something like that. You can trade those claws to vendors for cash later. They're into trophies. We're done here anyways. Let's head back to camp. Jack has used the time to thoroughly pick the bushes. We got some food. We got some seeds. Seeds are required for food production at the gardener. Food is used for trading, working, crafting, and surviving. Alright, back to camp. If you're injured, you can always turn back early. Well, let's go. Back to base, please. Be sure you want to turn back to base. This will end the day. Okay, we'll go through the night, and then I think we're ending the episode. Camp members are healing every morning and evening, or healed every morning and evening. How effective this healing is depends on the state of our beds. Currently, our beds are rank 1, and I have a heal rate of 50%. I needed that break after what we went through with those wolves. I feel better already. You weren't kidding about how dangerous those woods are. The meeting with the smugglers is tomorrow evening. I don't know how trustworthy they are, so we should bolster our camp defenses. There are some rooms we need to set up first. Come on. Where did we go? Defense structures. The camp could be attacked at any time by zombie hordes or hostile humans. Some may even try to break in secret. Like, hidden secretly, I guess. This is why camp defense is so important. So let's construct. Good work, Stephen. Now we can focus on the negotiations. Smugglers are demanding protection money, but we are pushing for an alliance. Let's see what they have to say. Good morning, folks. It looks like your standing with the smugglers just isn't good enough. Our boss Jimmy has decided to turn down your ambitious offer. If you don't want to pay the protection fee, our orders are to tear this place apart. Nothing personal, Jack. Sometimes the story will present you with choices to be made. Your decisions will have resulting consequences that don't always become apparent immediately. Choose wisely. Pay the fee. We should fight. There's a lot of these jokers. And there's only 2 of us. I think we pay the fee, honestly. This is all we have. If we get overrun by undead, it'll be on your conscience. Your cooperation surprises me. I'll pass the message along to Jimmy. You made the right choice. However, my men did come here expecting a fight. I think I'll let them release some of their frustration on you. Come on. You're gonna make me fight anyways? Consider it a light warning as to what's to come if you might, think you might be able to take us on. On the other hand, I on the other hand will be on my way. Have fun. So at least we got rid of the veteran lady. Camp defense can be managed by no more than 2 people, and no close combat is possible while barricades stand. What does this mean? We are finished without ammunition? You're right, and Molotov cocktails. If the fighters are armored, we need to stop those close-range fighters from trashing the barricade. Okay, so stop the close-range guys from trashing the barricade. Which means that you use our rifle. I mean, we could also use a Molotov cocktail. Is there anyone that's armored? Not really. So, rifle it is. Well, let's check our ammunition. Let's Go to normal ammo, please. Ground salvo does 3 times 50% damage, causes injured leg. Does 3 times 60% damage to targets affected by unconscious. Also usable in the front row. So just go for an attack on the front row. So either the infantry or the brawler. The infantry has more, hits harder. So yeah, let's go against it. I mean, that really sucks. I mean, you're breaking our barriers here. They've destroyed a barricade. The upside is now we can go close combat as well. Get up there, but focus first. To execute the strongest attacks in Dead Age 2, 3 action points were required. You could even spend up to 4 AP to combine strong attacks and now focus. Alright, I'm focusing. You're beating up my my trash bags there, guys. Now show those attackers what you're made of. Which row to the front. Take out my blunt weapons. A brute strike on the infantry. Okay, knocked him back into the other guy. That's interesting. Great, you hit him so hard he collided with his cohorts. That ought to teach those ruffians a lesson. Some shotgun, engineer, and melee skills can propel targets backwards. If someone is already behind them, they will collide and both take additional damage. You can also prevent frontline fighters from protecting the rear by pushing them into the back as well. So do a simple attack. Do a simple attack on the infantryman. There you go. I mean, we're just getting absolutely bodied here, it looks like. You're charging up. My shotgun is more useful at short range than your assault rifle, which needs more distance. Have a look at my special skill. That was pretty good. Perfect. Now you'll learn something else important, namely combination attacks. While I've managed to knock a few opponents to the ground, you should use their state against them. Time to use your own skill since I can't. Oh, you want me to use the ground salvo? Yep. See the guy in the back? He's getting ready to launch a strong attack. You should go into defensive stance to avoid the worst. Always remember the benefits of defense. When the situation calls for it, you can improve your reaction later with skills such as return fire. I probably shouldn't have changed my regular, probably should have been using the armor piercing in this battle. That guy has a lot of, he doesn't have armor plates, but he does have armor. That was a nasty shot. Despite your defensive stance, you've become vulnerable and should heal yourself quickly. Alright, let's heal myself. Some skills can cause negative status effects. In this particular case, you'll be more susceptible to critical hits in the next few rounds. You can cleanse yourself of the effect with a stimulant shot, just to be safe. Alright, let's use a bleeding stopper. Combat sprays can be used to neutralize negative effects and immunize until the end of combat. It didn't actually heal me, but did something. I accidentally clicked focus. So that was probably a bad idea for me to click that. Good thing I have another medkit on me. Be more careful. So it won't let me lose this. Inventory? Not inventory? Oh, you auto healed me. I gotcha. Knocked him back. Okay. That's actually not great because now I can't shoot. Switched my rifle though. Oh, yeah, that guy's much better because he has less armor. Okay, you just pushed forward. How'd you do that? How'd you do melee attack when he's way back there? So hopefully this will kill this guy. There you go, you're dead. This guy, let's try a blunt weapon strike on him. Just see. He does pretty good damage. That should be it for this guy. He's down for the count now. I feel stronger, says Steven. Got some materials, some scrap. We made it, Jack. I think we're going to do great things. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to kick things into high gear. Tomorrow, Jason, we'll finally get here. It'll be just like old times. Almost, yes. Alright, I think that's probably, like... Can we quit? I think this is probably a good place to stop here. I don't know if the game saved at any point, but I guess I'll find out when I load it up again. But this has been a good first look at Dead Age 2. So, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again next time.